Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This is part 3 of a 4-part series. Today we're doing a 30-yard pour. On part 2 we did a 10-yard pour, and part 1 was the demo and underground. Also in part 2 we set some posts for a Luma wood patio cover, which you'll see in this pour. They're already preset. Now in these planters right here, we have 2 drains in the large one to the right, the large planter, 1 drain in the small planter, because this whole pad cross slopes to those planters, and the pool deck slopes to the planters. So it starts in a 3-inch atrium drain. After about 40 feet of the 3-inch pipe, it changes into a 4-inch drain pipe. This is an independent concrete truck driver batching out a Bender Ready mix out of Corona, and they were able to bring me 10 yard loads. On the first pour in part 2, I only got a 9-yard load because they were coming from a different direction, so they had to go through the scales and what have you, so they kind of get sketchy, so they just put 10 on. But coming from the other direction, they can put the full 10, which is kind of nice. Because instead of getting 4 trucks, I was able to do this with 3 trucks. Big difference. Now this reinforcement right here is a 3/8-inch diameter. Owens Corning makes it. It's called Pink Bar. And it's comparable to the strength of 1/2-inch steel. There's only a couple differences really. And that is the Owens Corning bar, it doesn't rust, and it's much lighter. So for instance, any kind of steel reinforcement, let's take a look at it. Let's break it down. If you're going to join it, sawcut it, whatever, and you got all those, crack control joints that do crack on the control joints. Now they're open. Water goes in those cracks. If you have steel in there, it's going to obviously rust. And I don't know if you've noticed this about steel, but when it does start to rust, it expands. And when it starts to expand, it actually blows the concrete right off the top of it. And that's the last thing you really want. So I'm really partial to this particular product. The fiber mesh, the Owens Corning fiberglass bars. I think it's a good combo. Especially if you're in cold climate where you're getting a lot of rain, water, freezing, thawing. Seems like this would be really beneficial in that situation. We're in Southern California, so it's pretty dry here, but I see the potential for this stuff for sure. There's the 4-foot magnesium bowl float hitting the whole package. I got 10-foot bays that we screeded off of. This is a nice little edger here. It's a 1/2-inch radius, but it's about 2 foot wide. The beauty of that is, see that Fresno, how wide it is? Now they make a joiner that is adjustable, and it fastens, it slides, from any measurement you want. So you could actually put that joiner on there with a couple set screws, and say you want a 1-foot band, a 2-foot band, any size bands you want. You screw it onto that, and now you're cutting your band and edging at the same time at any width. That's really what that one's designed for. You notice how he put the float pan on there? The beauty of the float pan and the reason for it is you can get on it a little bit earlier and you can flatten it out. So you notice how the float pan is riding over and you can kind of see the highs and lows as it passes? Well, then you can move the concrete around and fill those up. I just went out on the concrete because I noticed that thing wasn't running very smoothly. It was missing. And it's got a carburetor problem, so I had to adjust the choke a little bit. I had to leave it half on to kind of take out that miss. It's the needle valve. It needs a carburetor cleaning basically. You can get the carburetor for probably $50 on Amazon though anyway. No biggie. So we're gonna run the float pan to start with. Get this whole thing knocked out nice and flat. and it has to be flat. And that's why I had the screed pins at 10 foot. You know, because I've only got 5 inches of slope in 50 feet. That's not very much. It's very minimal. But, you know, if it does drain and it works, the beauty of it is when you're out there doing whatever you want to do, you're not going to be getting hung up on a big slope. We're going to be saw cutting the majority of this, but right off the corner of that house there, I wanted to just get a joint in the day of. Yeah, the reason I wanted to get that joint in, because it may crack overnight before I get back here to saw cut. Typically, you want to get back to saw cut within 24 hours. I usually get back within about 16 hours. So we're going to be doing saw cuts at 5 foot spacing, diagonal, all the way across in both directions. So it's a lot of cutting. And it's very difficult to hand joint that much and keep them all straight without having an army on site. So now the float pan came off. Hit it a couple times without that. And now we're running the chameleon broom. It's a track 2 from the Marion brush company, and it came with 100 feet of rope, so I can go 100 foot span if I need to with this rope here. So the beauty of being able to do that is you're not going to get those stop and start points of a broom stroke. You're just going to get one even pass all the way across. And you're covering a lot of... This thing's 3 foot wide. So, I mean, you're knocking some area out pretty quick. And there was a couple areas that were drying a little differently than some areas. So we had to repower trowel, run the broom the full distance again here and there. No big deal. But that's the beauty of concrete. I mean, you can finish it and take a look at it and go, I don't like that. And then you hit it again. No problemo. This is a concrete carrying compound. Nice thing about this is it goes on clear and it stays clear. Some of this particular company has a lot of different varieties. A lot of them will say goes on white, dries clear. They really don't. You got to strip it off with some strippers to basically remove it. So this is I would recommend just going with this one Forget about that goes on white, dries clear stuff. Just go with this and save you some, headaches. Now, if you got a large area, this is the sprayer I really recommend right here. If you want to cover, shoot 50 feet away, you get this one. Tomahawk makes it, little 2-stroker, and it's running about 500 psi, so you don't have to worry about clogs. If something gets in there, inevitably it blows it out because of that high psi that it's pumping. Yeah, I blew that baby across this thing about 60 feet, no problem. Here we are doing a layout very next day. Just getting my grid. We're at 5-foot centers, both directions, diagonally. And initially what I started out with, which is a great crack point right off the corner of the house. That was my initial start point. Because I don't know if you've been doing this, you know that it always cracks off the corner of a house or any corner at a 45-degree angle. Even when you have wet joints in, sometimes they don't work because it cracks at a 45-degree angle out. So that was my designated layout point, basically. And I'm using blue chalk. Blue chalk, there's some other colors you can use, but blue chalk comes off with a pressure washer. And now if you use red or some other colors, you're not going to be able to get it off. So you want to make sure you read the labels of the chalk before you start snapping them down. I'm using the Medusa from Skill Saw here, and I've hooked that up to the DeWalt cordless vacuum. So I'm not leaving a lot of dust. If you notice, I don't even need to wear a mask, because there is no dust flying around. Well, that's what I really like about the vacuum hooked up to a dry cut. You can do it inside, wherever you want. You're not going to have a big dusty mess. Now for part 4 of this series, which is the Alumawood cover assembly, which you can see has started somewhat right here. That's going to be about a month out, although you're going to get that a lot sooner, but we did wait a month, to actually assemble it because we had some, we had the issues with the supply chain, ships floating out at sea that can't dock because COVID this, COVID that, so we're just waiting on materials, basically. We got them, and the next video is going to be going up real shortly. Actually, it's already completed. This is a good opportunity to see it, what 5 inches of slope and 50 feet can do. If you have screed pins, you're not going to freehand something like this and expect it to drain without any puddles. We got some nice drone footage coming up too right at the end here, where the drone gets a nice view, overhead view, and also gets entangled into a tree. The moment of truth is always when you put water on it. Here's that overhead. Stay tuned. The collision's coming soon. It's going to be magnificent. That was damn near they totaled that thing out. Actually, had to get a lot of new stuff on that one. But anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification button for our next upload, which is the Lumawood patio cover build. Got some lighting in it, some ceiling fans, the complete package. Have a good one.